Hey guys, Joebizz34 back again, and it's that time of year again. Here we go. Joebizz34's Halloween video special 2021 edition. And it feels like, in some cases, eons ago, and in other cases, just a hot minute ago, where I did last year's. And as you know, I premiered some of the great Ones Customs figures I had gotten, and then of course Beta Metalli's H40 set, and yeah, that was a year ago. So feels like it's been a hot minute, but here we are back again. And I do have a standout here, something else I'm showing that doesn't fit into 1/6 scale, obviously, but it's Michael Myers, it's Halloween themed, it's horror themed, and it's quite awesome. So of course I'm going to throw it in there for a quick look, along with all my 1/6 OGs here. This is the old school nostalgic 78 Myers looks, in addition to the part 2 81, which I'm still upset the new movies ignore, even though I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's still canon in my book, always will be. So anyway, so what we have here to start this year's video out, obviously I'm going a little Myers nuts here. I've had a big year for Myers. There's been a lot of releases, a lot of things going on in the Myers world. We've had some bigger scale statues. We've had some new head sculpts from commercially released companies, along with new talent of people making head sculpts, in the custom world. It's just been a good year for Myers fans. So what I'm going to start off real quick is just tell you this, that most of what you're looking at here is custom or has been modified. Okay, so I'm going to get into that really quick. So basically, starting out right here to the far right is obviously Ghost Bob, right? Ghost Myers, when he kills Bob in the original Halloween, and then puts the sheet over his head with his glasses, and then offers the beer to Totally, right? And before he ends up, strangling her with the phone, right here, right? So basically this figure here, the base of this figure is the new Sideshow Myers 1/6 that came out. I haven't bothered to review it, and I have some issues with it, to be honest with you. The head sculpt is okay, but once again needs work. I had reviewed the Tots Myers that came out earlier last year, earlier in the year, very early last year or late last year. I don't remember exactly when. And I got a lot of positive and negative feedback for that review. Some people were mad at me for trying to be honest. Other people praised me for being honest. Some people were kind of neutral and just kind of enjoyed the video, like they always do watching my videos. And to be honest with you, again, I'm going to reiterate something here. So I want to show you something here. So right here, okay, believe it or not, this is the Tots Myers sculpt that I reviewed last year. But look at it now. Okay? It has been reworked, repainted, re-weathered, re-haired. There's actual real hair on it. And I got to be honest with you, if you compare the Tots sculpt reworked compared to the Sideshow Myers reworked, this one wins. So the Trick or Treat Studios 78 Myers, and kudos to Kane, it does work and does knock it out of the park with a little extra TLC, which many have been giving it. You have yourself probably a new king, right? And on top of that, what Tots has done, which I think they should have done in the original set as like a deluxe set, I think that would have also helped matters as far as some of the negative feedback they received in the beginning, is they're offering an expansion pack, which also is going to have the ghost sheet, with the glasses, the tombstone, the pumpkin, everything that Sideshow did come out with. They gave us this pumpkin. I added a little extra knife in there as a little extra goodie, but this pumpkin lights up, and everything is along with the 1/4 scale Myers that I'll get into in a minute. And it's cool, but it's not. This doesn't look accurate. I mean, if you look at this is dead on. That's the original 78 pumpkin right there that you see in the beginning credits. This is more like an interpretation. This is not really the pumpkin. Let me light this up too, just so you can see it real quick. So there you go. Simply put, there it is lit up, and it's cool. It's a nice little backdrop. You put it in front, put it with the tombstone. This is the Myers. This is actually the tombstone that comes with the new Sideshow 78 Myers. So nice little piece there. So what Sideshow got right was they gave you all the accessories, right? They gave you they did give you the phone with the cord, but they didn't give you this piece. This is a custom piece done by Andy, Doggy Designs, and that was a pack, expansion pack I had for a while. It also came with the beer can with his set that I'm using for the Ghost Bob. This is when he's presenting the beer, right before he kills her. I call her Totally Girl, but you all know what I'm talking about. Totally. So, and the glasses and the sheet, everything looks great. So for this look, I think they nailed it. And this is the look I'm using. Okay, I'll get into this in a second. This is the old Mad Bug sculpt. And, basically, if you display them like this, it's a home run. Now, I'll be curious to see what happens when Tots comes out with their expansion pack and see how that ghost sheet is with the glasses and see if it has any value there or competition to this. But underneath the sheet, they come with the blue coverall, the blue coveralls, which to me is still the wrong color. But, I'm not going to get into any more fights and debates over it because it's just an opinion. And it's been a fight that's been going on for years, and I frankly do not want to participate in it anymore. Whether you think it should be blue, charcoal gray, green, whatever the heck you think, knock yourself out. I know what I see in my head, and when it comes to that, it's more of the charcoal gray for the originals. And yes, with the lighting throughout the movie, it definitely looks like different colors at times, especially if you're watching different editions of the movie, like special editions through the years where they altered the color or they tried to enhance the color, and then it did affect the color of the coveralls there too. So technically, from one form or another, everybody is right. It's based, in some cases, it's based on a personal taste or opinion. These here on the 1/4 scale, I think is kind of captures it the best because it's kind of like the charcoal gray, but with a touch of that slight greenish in there. So maybe that's the happy compromise or the happy medium that people are looking for. So Sideshow went completely blue. I'm not even going to show it, in the normal form. This is how I'm displaying them. I don't even have the head sculpt that, it comes with the other blank head sculpt that you use just for the sheet. That comes with the sheet. The other head sculpt is in the box. I am going to send it off at some point to get it customized by the same person that did this, which is Nikolai. And Nikolai I'm going to put his name here in full just so you know exactly how to reach him if you're interested. He has killed it with this, okay? So what I want to show you here, this is an original Mad Bug sculpt that was painted by, Silent Surfer, the Nathan. I picked this up last year with the porch, if you guys remember my last year vid for my good friend Ricardo Guzman, which I have a little treat coming up that involves him as well. I'll explain. And, so this was for the longest time considered king. And, to a degree, some probably still feel that way. It has all the details there. There's the needle hole in the mask. The herring, the paint work, everything was great. I have another Myers sculpt that I've been waiting almost 3 years now from Nathan to give me. I paid for it in full and still waiting. So if I ever do get it, I'll show you guys that one day because that was a different Myers sculpt done by Matt that I have two of. One that Matt did and gave me and is numbered. And I sent the second one off to Silent Surfer. And never got it back. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, so this is an original one that he painted a while back. Now, if you look at it side by side with the Tots, that's re-haired, redone, right? I'm getting in the way of the lighting a little bit. Let me try to go that way so you guys can see. I mean, to me, there's no comparison. This is the winner. This is the winner. Okay, so Tots redone. So, of course, I put on the Uncial coveralls that I had. I have several pairs of Uncial coveralls that I use. He's wearing a pair, too, here. The black shirt, the jungle boots, upgrade the jungle boots, the hands. I have a Chris Yeast knife that he's holding that's beautiful. So, you put all that, you convert the figure, you get like an awesome Myers. So like I said, once again, Nikolai's work is great. So eventually I'm going to have Nikolai redo the one that came with the Sideshow figure. And then I'll maybe show it and see how it looks. I've seen others that he's done. They look great. They look better. But to me, the Sideshow Myers head sculpt reworked does not look as good as the Tots Myers sculpt reworked. To me, this is the new king, in my opinion. Now, getting into these other ones here, we have other looks here. So this one is kind of more of the, I'm answering the phone mask look, which is pretty accurate to that scene, which is why I'm using that with this scene, along with the custom phone and the custom ghost sheet here that I had gotten a while back with another set. And to me, this looks awesome in its own right. And this head sculpt is great. I actually had a couple of people ask me where I got this one, and this is by Ryan Ryan Harper, sorry. And then I think on Instagram he goes by Heat Harp or something like that. I'll put the names on the bottom too. So just to give him a quick shout out and credit, I mean, he does a great job doing Meyer sculpts, and he's doing all different looks. So he did this one that I think really captures the original mask very nicely, along with the fact that it's kind of specifically that look of that scene. And obviously you could see the eyeballs right now, but when it's blacked out, you don't really see the eyes like in different lighting. It definitely has that look for that scene. So I got this version for that. So it's a progression. I got my regular Myers before, then during, and then after. So that's kind of my thinking there, right? And then over here we have part 2. And this is a kit bash I put together. The coveralls and the body and the scalpel is, and the hands and everything is from an old Once Customs part 2 that he gave me a long time ago that I bought from him. So the coveralls still hold up, and I think they're still great. Now, when I get the expansion set that comes with the Tots Myers, they come with green coveralls. I may try them on him to see how it looks as far as a part 2 look, because we all know that part 2, they definitely looked more green, and I think it's spruce green or whatever technically the color is. So that this is also another Ryan Harp sculpt, and this is a part 2 sculpt. And again, I think it's great. I think he knocked it out of the park. The herring, if you look at the coloring here, go about this. I mean, the way he did the herring and the way it's styled in the back, it definitely has that part 2 Myers look. So this is the new Christmas tree topper for part 2, and you know, I kind of put this together, and I think it looks great. And this is a custom stand. Again, this was a stand that I think Once Customs did a long time ago. I mean, we're talking years ago. And there is in this hand that he had, it has like a little magnet so that when you put the scalpel in there, it holds the scalpel securely and doesn't fall out. So that's nice. And again, once I get the, like I said, the Tots expansion set, there'll be some goodies in there that I can kind of incorporate possibly with both, you know, both the original and part 2 Myers. Now, so right here, I wanted to show you, this is the cert that comes with the PCS Myers Premium Collectible Studio, 118 of 1500. This is a collectible 1/4 statue. This came out, I believe, late last year or earlier in the year that I got, and I saved it obviously for Halloween. And this is a beauty. The stand that you could see that's supposed to look like windows of his house. There's the 709, right? The address. That's, you know, little Mikey right there. And then and then it comes with the pumpkin, like I said, that lights up, which is beautiful. All right, beautiful representation. Matter of fact, I opened it back up today. Let me take the head off. The head just kind of sits snug with like a magnet. And some people have complained about the hair, but you can futz the hair. I haven't really futzed it as much as I wanted to yet because I just opened it to take it out of the box. I've been keeping it stored away for now. Awesome box, by the way. And, you know, I am going to work on it and kind of get it more, you know, to my liking. It comes with a closed fist, which I wish they gave another hand option for that, to be honest with you, like an open hand too. Comes with the hand with the knife. Also comes with an additional hand. This is like an exclusive that has a bloody knife, all right, that I'm yet to use. And then here's the nice classy touch, which is kind of a little over the top, but some people, you know, agree with it. It comes with a glove, so you can handle this without touching it or getting your fingerprints on it. A little extreme for me. I'm not that OCD, but many are. Then you have other things here, like you have the Judith Myers scene with the tombstone in the bed with the pumpkin. And I believe behind here, if you could see it, right there, there's Michael Myers. So again, it really is cool. It really is cool. There's the floor base. And the pumpkin is not stationary. There's one more picture here, which I'm not really sure what this one is. Let's see. Oh, this is him standing like... Yeah, look at that. Look how cool that is. The Bob scene when he kills Bob and he tilts his head. So very cool artwork. Now, my 2 gripes. Okay, so, and just so you see, the pumpkin is removable, right? So you don't have to keep the pumpkin on the base. So put that pumpkin right there. Like I said, that's an awesome looking pumpkin, even if you display it with a 1/6 Myers. And 2 things I think that should have happened. I think they should have had some sort of lighting or illumination here too, so the windows light up, so you kind of notice the artwork a little more. And what it might have been really nice is maybe have it kind of turn like a carousel, right? So either the whole statue turns, right, or just the windows turn. So you get to see each picture as it comes front and center, as it goes around. I think that would have been a nice touch, almost like a like a musical jewelry box, but like with maybe even the Halloween theme music playing as the stand turns. I think that would have been an awesome thing, but we always don't get what we want. So, but that's, like I said, like a nitpick. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put the collar up real quick because I forgot that I did not do that when I took them back out of the box. Because obviously, then you just tap it on right there, and boom, there you are. And like I said, this is not perfect as far as the sculpt, but it definitely has the right look for 78. I mean, again, the details in the mask, the hair is real mohair or whatever, so you can futz it and, you know, style it. It's got the details. It's got the little, once again, the needle mark, the needle hole in the mask where she stabbed him. The coveralls and the clothing I think are great. He sits in the stand based on like a, fits in a hole like a, I'll show you. So there you can see, so there's like a little needle there. Jungle boots are nice, details there. And he just basically fits in that slot right there. I'll see if I could do this one-handed. I had to pause the video to get him out. Let me pause it again. So there you go. So he is in there pretty securely. So once he's in, he's in. Now, you know, again, if you look at this head sculpt, I'm sorry guys, but you know, if you have a tot sculpt, Trick or Treat Studios, for those who are not in the know, and you can get it rehaired, reworked, repainted. I think Nikolai even set the eyes back further into the head, if I remember. You have here a winner. I mean, this is, to me, this is one of the best. I mean, again, opinions may vary, so please, if you disagree with me, you know, that's fine. You know, different flavors for different, you know, different tastes, different people for different people. But again, like if you ask me, this is still great. And honestly, if you look at this with this, there's a closer, I would say there's a closer resemblance there. It's still not exactly the same, but than there is here. To me here, when you look with these two, you know, I don't see how this could still be king to be at this point, to be honest with you. And again, like I said, so when I knocked the figure, I wasn't knocking the original figure. I was just pointing out its flaws and where I thought it could be elevated. For the price, it was what it was. And it definitely gave the foundation to have parts. Some people like the blue coveralls that came with it. Some people swap it out to different ones, or, you know, like Yunsil ones or so on. To each their own, man. You know, we all have a love for Myers in our own way. So I don't fault anybody for doing whatever the heck they want. So anyway, I'm going to be moving on to the video now. Before I go any further showing my stuff, I just wanted to give a shout out to Ricardo Guzman. So basically, I had an opportunity to travel to Chicago earlier, late summer, for my job. And I had to go to the office that was out there. So I had an opportunity to actually visit Ricardo and actually meet him in person for the first time. Now, for those of you who know him on Facebook, he's on Instagram. He used to be on Sideshow Freaks under a different name a long time ago. And I've known him for years, but I never met him in person. So I was able to get out there and I actually filmed some of his collection. So let me explain what's going to happen. So I'm going to show you guys his collection, okay? But I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'm going to save that for a different video because what I basically did is I filmed everything he had on display in his home. Beautiful home, beautiful family, you know, his wife, his son, made us feel very welcomed, you know, and I wanted to thank him again on this video for that, Ricardo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate video showing everything I filmed there when I was there. However, for the sake of time and to make sure this video doesn't get too overcrowded, I'm going to only show you a segment of what I filmed there in this video that relates to horror, his horror collection. And then look on my channel soon, you'll see a different video where I'm going to show the whole thing on my visit there and just show his collection. He has a lot of unique, special pieces, and his collection, he has a certain taste, and he has a certain way of collecting that's very unique than a lot of other people I've seen. So, you know, he has a mix of things that are commercially released. He has a mix of customs. It's very interesting. And he has a lot of figures that, some of which are on sale right now. So check him out if you want to, if you're interested in buying some of the stuff he has. Check out his sales thread. Find him on Facebook, you know, message him. Some of the pieces that you'll see in my videos, or at least by the time you see it, are either for sale or he may have already sold it at that point. However, and there's some that we pointed out in the video that he was looking to sell even at that time. So anyway, without further ado, here is a clip And I guess we can consider it sort of like a sneak peek of the fuller video that'll come later on, later this year. With my good friend Ricardo Guzman, and yes, this is not, you don't have to fine tune your sets here. This is really happening. I am next to Ricardo. I'm from New Jersey. He's in Chicago, Illinois, or at least near Chicago, Illinois. And I have come out here for my job for the week. And while I was here, I got to actually come over and visit him. So while I'm here, I decided to incorporate some of his stuff into the video this year. He's got some really cool stuff. He's got stuff that's kind of unique to a lot of other people's collections. So I think it's good to showcase a little bit of it today. And we're going to show it, okay? Are we good, Ricardo? You ready?
Thanks, Ron. I appreciate the introduction. Thank you. I'm glad you made it, dude. Nice to meet you in person.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
and
that.
Hopefully one of many visits.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
And he owes me a visit to me if he ever comes my way to the tri-state area.
That's it. We'll get that in the works. Thanks,
Oh,
man.
cool. Alrighty, here we go. He's got some detofs kind of spread out in his basement, which is really cool. And this is his more of like obviously this fits into my Halloween vid more stuff, so I wanted to share a lot of this. This is like the horror section, right, of your stuff. Yes. To a point. He's got some superheroes here that we'll see, but first off here, this is a Beta Motali Michael Myers, right? And I guess this was a later reissue, right, or one that he did. Or is this an original? I'm not.
No, it's everything is original. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the coveralls.
Right.
Were a one of.
Okay. I'm trying to get an angle here. Okay, that's actually pretty good on the side. My reflection is in there. I don't want people to see my face. I want them to see the figure. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So there's the Beta Motali Myers, and that's an original from him, right? So he did the coveralls and the head sculpt, the whole deal, and then you have a ton of cool accessories with it. I guess that you got from various different sources.
Yeah,
here.
the pumpkin in front on the right is ones.
Right here?
The back, yes.
And then what about the back? That's Beto, right?
Beto, yes.
I remember because I had that.
Yeah.
And then what's this one here in the front?
That's an eBay, man.
Cool.
Actually, Tim Gord weathered that for me, made it look more better.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
where I got the idea to make a headless horseman with that.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
Yeah, at one point maybe.
Cool. Yeah, but it looks cool nonetheless. And Tim did a great job with the paintwork there and the weathering. And then I recognize this set because I have this as well. Was it the doggy?
Yes, sir, Andy.
Yeah, Andy, right? Doggy Dog or I'm sorry,
Doggy Doc.
Doggy Dog. I'm messing up his alias, but yeah, it's Andy that he made the set here with the phone, the beer can, and all that good stuff. Yes, but I see you got a lot of other goodies here. You got the hand with the hammer. Now, what's this here? What's this face here?
You know.
This this is what's kind of intriguing me here.
At the time, Ron, I picked that up on eBay. That was I forgot what they called it. It was a mask for something.
Okay.
It reminded me of a old school My Bloody Valentine movie.
Okay.
Where the killer wore a very similar mask to that. That's why I bought it.
Oh, cool.
I think I bought it at the time with the intentions of turning it into a figure, and there it is.
So. All right, cool. Well, if you ever need any help with that, let me know. I can hook you up.
You.
All right, so we got the, and I have this figure as well, and Ricardo informed me that kind of inspired him. This is a David Tucker / One's Customs figure here, right?
Yeah,
Yep. CC Creations, that's his alias, and it's basically completed by David, but it's the head sculpt and the paintwork, I guess, on the head is one with the flare. This is a really awesome figure.
Killed it.
Yeah,
man. I saw yours and I thought, wow, you know what? There's no shame in my game. I need one.
Absolutely. And over here, you got a really cool Freddy kit bash here. I guess this is and I have this too, and I'm going to do something with it eventually, and Ricardo knows. I think we picked it up around the same time. This is the Legio 7, right?
Yes.
Freddy Krueger. I would want it, he didn't really put a number to it, but I would say it's part 3, if the Dream Warriors, right?
Yeah.
That would be my guess based on design. And it's a very nice head sculpt. Definitely. And you pieced this together, I guess, with an old Sideshow hat, right?
Yeah.
And what's the rest of it?
You know what, Ron? I just happened. I had the gloved hand, the burnt hand, sweater and shoes. I had laying around.
Okay.
Legio. I saw he was doing a run of it. I bought the sculpt and the hat I picked up off of eBay.
Nice.
It was almost there, right? So.
Yeah, no, it looks great. And I was skeptical because I know you asked me about the hat, and the older hat actually works with it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. All right, great job. Great job.
Surprise, thank you.
Great job. So moving right along down here, we have Alien. So we have the aliens. We have the big chap. I know that Hot Toys, I had that figure. I did sell it, but regretfully, it's a beautiful figure. And then you have the Hot Toys Ripley here.
Yeah.
Very cool. I've seen some people, I don't know if you're ever going to consider it, because I've kind of gone back and forth myself. I've seen some people that have had it customized where the hair gets swapped out with real hair. Is that something you ever thought about doing?
I did have one, and you know what? Yeah, and you know what? I've been wanting to ask Shane.
Okay.
If he'll do it again for me.
Right.
I just.
Well, what do you think? Do you think it looks good on its own, that you'd be okay living with it like this, or do you think like hairing it is kind of like mandatory?
I think now that I feel like I'll be keeping this. This isn't going anywhere.
Uh-huh.
I think I definitely want to make it look better. I think this still doesn't look bad, as you can see.
Yeah.
But I think with Shane's touch, it'll definitely.
Let me know about Shane, and if you can tell me after, I'll put his info here, because if anybody else wants that, including myself, I'd like to know.
Shane, cool.
Yeah. Let me know, because maybe I'll do the same thing. Maybe we'll do it together with him.
Yeah, maybe.
Cool. And then behind that, explain this little side piece here behind it, this accessory piece here.
You know that is a third party, man. I got that off Facebook, off of what's his name? Evan. I don't remember his last name. Sorry, dude. But
listen, don't feel bad, because if you remember names later, if you figure it out, I will put it on the bottom of this video and tag the person if you can remember. So it's okay that you don't know right at this moment.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no.
All right.
He sold it excellent price. You can fill that up with liquid, and it lights up from the bottom, and it just looks just like the film.
Now this is a third party company that makes these, because I've seen these, right?
Yes,
like,
yeah.
and I was tempted to buy one too, and it's funny that it's here, because I wasn't sure if the scale was going to work, but clearly seeing it here, it does.
Yeah.
So it's a very nice backdrop to.
It is a nice addition to.
Sweet.
To the two.
Okay, cool. All right, so moving down here, now you have the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now is this the new one that came out from Mondo? Yes. How do you like it? Do you think it's good?
I mean, it's not for. I will say this, for the price I got it for.
It's not bad.
I got it dirt cheap off of eBay. It was one of those. The sale is ending soon. Let me throw a bid on it.
Right.
Yeah, and I actually won it. It was. I'm happy with it for what I paid.
Cool.
I think it's the best version of him around at the moment.
That's awesome. No, he looks great. And like you said, especially for the price, sometimes the saying, you get what you pay for, but sometimes what you get is actually good. Yeah. And then you have some accessories down here. You have the bloody wrap body that could be an accessory, right, for any kind of figure.
Definitely.
That's pretty cool.
He's moving somewhere else. But
And I want to get one of these. If you ever see one, let me know. Or I'm going to look for them, because I would be interested in having this to display with Jeepers Creepers. I think that would work perfectly with that movie.
See, that would make sense.
Yeah. And then you have some Wolverine sculpts here. By the way, shameless plug again. I did help him paint the two on the ends here, but unfortunately they're too big for the one he has, which is right there.
Yeah. I never measured them. I never put them on the body in pre-paint.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it after you painted them and I got them back. Even if you can see there next to the Sideshow sculpts.
Yeah, they're significantly bigger.
They are rather large.
Yeah. Well, anyway, unfortunately, I did hook them up with the paintwork, but I'm sure at some point maybe there'll be an epiphany. You'll find a way to utilize them.
We have a visitor. Hang on.
Oh, look at that! Oh, yeah, he wants to be my vid.
Yeah, there you
Look at this! Oh, and look, it's a spider. How fitting is that for a Halloween vid? Huh?
Oh, wait, there you go. Exactly, right? Hang on.
All right, so this I'm excited to show, because this is if this was in my collection, this would be like a main event for sure.
Oh.
And it's funny, because Ricardo was telling me that he has some lights here that are flickering right now, but it kind of adds to the creep effect of this Detolf and this figure. Now, this was done by Rusty Blonde,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And as many of you remember, Rusty Blonde was definitely somebody that was favorable, that I had discovered with an Exorcist custom Reagan that I had bought from her, and I kind of introduced her to everybody, and everybody kind of went nuts for her work, and it's great work. And then Ricardo what's the word? He commissioned her, thank you, to make this for him. And this is, which werewolf is this from? This is from,
The Howling.
The Howling, yes, thank you. I was going to say American Werewolf, but it's not American Werewolf. It's The Howling, yes. And look at this. This is phenomenal. And this is not light work. His lights are actually doing this, which technically is like accidentally it accidentally is like favorable, right? And this is real fur on it. And is this fully sculpted? Does it?
Yeah, everything.
This is amazing.
I there are no words, Ron. Here and there, I've had to sell pieces for, to buy other, that's what we do, right? Recycle old to buy new.
This is definitely worth selling some pieces for.
Yeah, and this is one that I got to put it in the will that my wife buried me with it.
Now, I do want to pause for that. I don't know if it's ready yet. You did have an accessory with this, right? The moon or something that.
Oh
yeah. So let me pause this for 1 second because we want to show that in action. And I got to give him kudos. Ricardo thinks out of the box as far as like adding things to his piece. I mean, look at all these little parts he's got with it on the side here. He's got this skull. He's got these limbs and stuff that go with it. But I'm going to pause it for 1 second because we want to show you something. If it works, hopefully. Well, let's see. Be right back. Okay, so we're back, and as you can see here, Ricardo thinking out of the box, which I think is brilliant. He bought one of these, what they call moon lighting or moon lamps. I've seen these, and I think you can get them in different sizes, right?
Yeah,
so he got one to be on the backdrop of this wolf. Go ahead if you want to turn it on.
Yeah, so it's supposed to look like it's a little further back.
Right. That's crazy good. And the camera may be giving a little feedback with it, but as you could see, it looks like the moon's behind him in the background, and I think that's incredible. I think that's awesome. Yeah, here's like it's not flickering here. This is crazy. This is so cool. Now, can it change colors? You said.
Yeah.
It has a little remote here.
Yeah. So there's the remote.
It's similar to like the LED lights you could buy, right, for like lighting and stuff.
For the details.
Right. Yeah, there you go. It's like purple now, and that's an awesome accessory.
For the wolf.
Yeah, that's great. It's funny, on camera, it's flickering, like it looks like it's, but that is really cool. That is really cool. So that's a cool idea to have as like a backdrop and accessory.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And they do come, if you like it just in general, they come, I think they come with them bigger, right? Like they're bigger, like if you want them as like a night light or something, or,
So this is what I use for him. Actually, I have a bigger one in my son's bedroom.
That's amazing, but that's awesome. And obviously the what is it, the white color, that's the default, that looks the most realistic as far as it being an actual like moon behind them, but that is really cool.
I used to display it under yellow too.
Yeah, that makes sense too. That's another, yeah, definitely. No, that's awesome. That's great. So I just wanted to say thank you, Ricardo, for sharing your home with me and your collection. And this is a dream come true to meet somebody that I've known for years in the hobby, and actually could be here standing personally, face to face with him. So thank you so much, man. He's now part of my Halloween video history.
Yeah. Glad to be there. Thanks, Ron.
No problem. No problem. All right, I'll be back with more stuff in a minute. All right. See you later, guys. Alrighty, guys. So once again, thanks to Ricardo Guzman. We had a blast there that night. I had my girlfriend with me. She was hanging out with his wife, and his son was playing. We were playing with his son. We had a great time. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little snippet. And again, coming soon, I'm going to release that entire footage of what's there. He's got some cool stuff in that basement, including life-size Spider-Man statues and all this cool stuff. So you'll see that coming soon to a Joebizz34 video channel near you. Anyway, getting back to this year's horror collection for our 1/6 Halloween special. What I'd like to do right now is do a quick C Creations David Tucker /One's Customs segment. So as you know, David Tucker, aka C Creations, is very well known in the 1/6 horror community for basically putting together full figures using head sculpts or parts that, from the other artists to kind of complement full figures for an alternative if somebody wants something done by him instead, or for a lesser price if they can't afford a full-on, figure that's done completely by One's Customs, whoever else maybe. So that's where David Tucker steps in. His specialty is doing the bodies, the clothing, the weathering, the painting, and he kind of matches everything up seamlessly in a way so that you have a full figure experience. And these are no exceptions right here. So these are my latest. Now these are old. This Halloween 4, the 2 Halloween 4s here I've had for a while, but I was thinking about it and I said I'm not really sure if I ever actually showed it on film or actually reviewed it. I had it, and I kind of got it in between, I think, Halloween's, and I think it got lost in the shuffle, so I don't think I've ever actually showcased it. So I'm going to show it to you now, and real quick. So, and even though Trick or Treat Studios has been coming out with all these different versions, I do have their 5 that I'll show in a little bit separately that I've been kind of customizing a bit, and will continue to do so. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to probably eventually send that Halloween 5 sculpt off to Nikolai as well, to have it rehaired and done. But I did repaint it, and I did throw a little hair on it for now just to kind of give that effect. And I do have him sporting the sickle, the custom sickle that I got from Tanilo. So I'll show that off in a little bit. So I have a couple more Myers here too. So this Halloween 4 basically fits the bill enough for me that I didn't get the Tots Halloween 4 for that reason. A couple reasons why I do think One's Customs Halloween 4 head sculpt is still stellar. I think it's awesome and does the job quite well. The paintwork and the hairing and all that, the Tots, as you know, their Myers do not have real hair, or I shouldn't say real hair, you know what I mean? They have sculpted hair, I guess is the way you say it. This has like the mohair, so you can futz it and you can style it and you can do what you want with it. So I always like that. I don't know why, because we accept sculpted hair on human sculpts where, their hair should be real as well. But for some reason, when it comes to certain characters like Myers or like Heath Ledger Jokers or, various other characters, some people demand or would prefer the real hair look. So for some reason with Myers masks, it seems to be more of the popular way to go. And I agree, because I feel the same way. So I stuck with this custom Halloween 4 instead of getting the Tots, because I feel for now this still is great. You can see the goopy and messed up burned hand, that hand look that Tucker went with here. Nice knife. The coveralls are great. Right color, right style. He did a good job in the weathering. The shoes are kind of more of a black boot look, instead of the green and black jungle boots that he wore in the original. And again, of course, his other hand here that looks just as burned and messed up. And it has a great kind of goopy, disgusting feel and look to it. So this is pretty much, the body's simplistic. It pretty much is stoic, basically. This Myers and the way, was it George Wilbur at the time played him, very different than, the original, obviously. More on the lines of how Myers was in part 2. But he's definitely put his own spin to it even still, and kind of had a very robotic, very straight, standing straight up, kind of almost like marching soldier style to his walk. And to this day, if you look at that movie in its own right, it's a classic. Even some of the sequels that maybe aren't looked at as fondly still have something special today on a rewatch value. All the Myers movies, all the Halloween movies have something. Even Halloween 3 that didn't even have Myers in it, except for those little clips that you saw him on TV. It still have its own like nostalgic cult classic feel to it at this point. And I'm really looking forward to Trick or Treat Studios coming out with the kids with the Halloween 3 silver shamrock masks on them. I think that'll be great. I have the NECA ones right now for stand-ins, but definitely looking forward to a true 1/6 version of that. So maybe by next Halloween, I'll be showing that off. I'm not sure when Tots is going to actually release that for pre-order, but they have teased it along with some other ones coming. So this was my idea, and Tucker did this for me. So he kind of did this for me as like a 2-pack, right? So I had this head sculpt of the Bandage Myers, like he appeared before he got the mask and the outfit. And I asked Tucker, I said, hey, can you help me maybe complete the figure? And I sent it to him, and he said, you know what? He said, although this is good, he goes, I would prefer to do my own bandage head if you're okay with that. That would fit the body better, fit the look, and he felt he could do a better job. And yes, he did. So he ended up doing this whole figure for me. This was my idea. I commissioned him to do this. He got the crowbar weapon in his hand. He originally weathered the hands and burned them up, similar to what he did with the the uniform version. However, he didn't weather the body. He left it clean because he was a little worried about it being a Fison, and he thought, maybe the paint and stuff would be bad for the material, which he may be right. But me being me, I went ahead and kind of touched it up some more, and I did weather the legs up and dirtied them and kind of gave them a burn look, as you can see here. Let me see if I can kind of go this way so you can see it more in the light. I'm trying to get the lighting here. I do have extra lights that are shining on it. And then the arms as well. So if I can go this way, you can kind of see it more. There you go, see? So I did kind of try to match it up a bit so that it blends in a little better and it doesn't just look like messed up, burned hands, and then just a clean body. And he did the gown and everything else. He did a great job. Now, he is a little shorter because of the different body, because he wanted to use a Fison that sort of fit the bill, but didn't show joints, since you're going to see his legs and his arms. So he made a artistic licensing decision there. And it is shorter, as you notice, than the H4 body. And I'm sure some people's OCD will go nuts with that. But the way I like to justify it is that, you know, in this version, he's barefoot, right? And he has a bandaged head. Whereas once he gets the uniform, he's got his boots on that kind of add a couple inches to his height, you know, or at least would in the movie. And then, of course, with the mask and then the fake hair or the mask hair, you know, would add another couple inches to him. So I kind of try to justify it that way. So anyway, but still, it's a great piece. It's unique, and it's definitely like a one-off he did. So it looks great, and I was very happy with what he did there. So thank you, David. So moving on to some other stuff I picked up in this past year that, you know, I'm very proud to add to my collection. This is another C Creation special, but this one was done with Legio 7. So Legio 7 has been really on fire lately, doing great stuff. They just get better and better. They did this sculpt of the Creep, right, from the Creepshow, and they kind of mimic the NECA figure from what it looks as far as the hood and everything. Well, that's more David Tucker. But they did the head sculpt with the white hair. It has the real, you know, hair to futz on the head sculpt. And the hands, I believe they did, in the feet. So they gave you the body parts. You can see the feet right there. It's all like bone and skeleton-ish, right, and rotted kind of thing. So then what happened next is Distress Labs got involved. Paul Manzi, shout out to him. He did the base, the scenery, and then he did the back window there. And this backboard connects to the base by a magnet, so it can kind of hold up. And he did it kind of like on an angle, so I guess you can do it this way. And David Tucker completed the figure with the Legio 7 pieces, with the you know, the body and the robe that he weathered and he distressed, and he made it look, you know, match the part. I added a little lantern here, and I'm going to turn this lantern on here. I'm going to pause it 1 second so you can see it lit up. Okay, I'm back. So there you go. The little lantern's lit up now, and it does flicker, and it kind of looks more real in person than maybe it's coming off on camera. And you know what? Let me shut the light off for a second and see if that helps it. Kind of add more ambiance to it, besides my extra lighting that I have. So if we kind of darken it there, you can see it better. There you go. And that lantern I actually got separately, and I didn't even plan at the time. You know, I thought it was cool and it was a fair price. So like, I'm going to get that in case I ever need a lantern with something. And then it turned out I got him, and it works perfectly since he is known for holding a lantern. And, you know, the figure by default did not come with a lantern, so that worked out pretty good. The also cool thing with this display is if you display him behind the window, so you can kind of get a cool look, like him creeping in through, look through the window, like, so. And that little noise you just heard is the, hello, Creepshow. That little noise you just heard is the lantern falling. So I'll get that in a second. Let me pause the video. All right, so he's all happy again. He's ready to freak somebody out again. Look at the details on that head sculpt. That is amazing. That is amazing. And great job by Legio 7. The paintwork and stuff for the head, the herring. You know, really great work there. You can see the hair there. Really nice. But kudos to David Tucker for finishing the figure along with Distress Labs. You know, bringing it more to life with the base to kind of complete it. So really nice there. So now we're going to move on to, this is a really cool figure I picked up from David. And this is an all original from him. Again, just like this part 4 here that he basically did all on his own. A full figure exclusively from C Creations. This is another one. And I am very proud to own this one. So this is the custom full figure, the character from The Strangers. And obviously there was a sequel, which I still have yet to see. I have to catch up and watch that. But this is kind of accurate with a little bit of David's spin on it. You know, he went a little creative on it, as he told me. There's the axe, the bloody axe. It looks really cool. Plus he threw in this extra axe he gave me that was, you know, as part of the deal. That's kind of more of a custom axe. It's heavier. The axe handle, you know, the actual axe is sharp, and it's actually real metal. So it's a heavier. So, you know, there's the choice of, you know, having him hold that one, or this one that came with the figure as well, with the bloody axe tip blade. So I'm not sure which one I will ultimately go with. If you have a you know, a Shining Jack Nicholson figure, this would probably go great with something like that too. So I'll utilize this at some point, maybe with him or something else. But for now, I kind of like this one. Kind of fits in scale better, and the blood I like is a nice touch. And the hood is great. And he went a little creative with the hood. Like I said, he kind of weathered it, and he kind of made it a little bit more, you know, cool looking with you know, dirty, a little more dirty and worn. Now, he also threw in as part of the set this head sculpt, and this is other, because he made a few of these. This wasn't the only one he made. And he was working on ones that I guess also were a little more cleaner and a little more accurate, I guess, in, you know, to him as far as the movie. So he gave me the choice, and I really preferred this one, but I ended up making a deal just to buy both head sculpts. So I kind of own both. So I can kind of switch it up if I want to put this one on him and go for the more cleaner look, right? To kind of get a, or to go this. But I gotta be honest with you, I really like this one. I like what he did here. And this makes it a little more unique to me. And I think overall, it just makes the figure overall better and creepier. So this will be a little, you know, side addition to it. Or maybe one day I'll try to bash together, you know, a different one with this one or whatever. All right, last but not least, look at this beast right here. So, you know, quick story. I had a full figure of this that was One's Customs a while back with all the different head sculpts, you know, the unmasked head sculpt with the beard, this one, and then the one that kind of looked more like the beginning of the dream sequence mask that looked a little, you know, worn and bloody. And, you know, I sold it. I had to sell it because I went through a time where I kind of needed some money, so I kind of got rid of it, and I sold that figure. And rightfully so, you know, I got a good fair price for it. But I still had this head sculpt that I had from an original Hobo Myers that I had gotten back when, that David Tucker did. So I reached out to David Tucker when I saw him doing new ones, and he improved the outfit, the size, and everything. And I said, can you upgrade the one I have and just maybe, you know, make it better, make it more like your newer ones, like taller, more massive. And I already have the head sculpt. I just need the outfit and the body. And he agreed to do it. So I basically, you know, paid for him to set up a new home for the head sculpt, basically. A new body, new outfit. That everything is just bigger, better. But I mean, if you want to look at the size comparison, look how big he is compared to that Myers. All right, look how big he is if you put him next to the Strangers. I mean, look, I mean, the size difference is massive. I mean, this definitely captures Hobo Myers, Taylor Mane, and this really definitely fills the void that I had by giving up the full figure one that I had from One back when. So the head sculpt is still One's Customs. It's the, like I said, the partially showing faced one with the hair coming through. Okay, and then, you know, the hood, and then there's the hood is posable, and you can take it down. I'll show it you it off. It looks so menacing. I mean, when you look at it like from above, look at that. It looks so good. It's so sturdy and massive. The shoes, nice and worn. If you could see them, it's a little dark, but you get the gist. And if you look at the mask, just with that little bit of light beaming off of it, it just adds to it. It just has that nice kind of like weathering, you know, kind of been through the mill kind of look. You know, the vest is great. Definitely he improved the, you know, the back blanket sack right there that he wears. The knife, obviously, nice weathering and dried up blood stains on it. It's amazing. It really is amazing. So let me see if I can get the hood off without pausing. So there it is with the hood off. So again, you know, the original sculpt, look at that. Goes, you know, the credit goes to One's Customs, of course, but David Tucker really brought it to life. Look at the layers of clothes underneath, right? The blue, and then the kind of like the, what is that, like that plaid shirt that he had on, a checkered lumberjack kind of jacket or shirt that he had on underneath. So, I mean, it's all the details and layers are there. Really, really cool. And then obviously underneath is the, you know, the jumpsuit, you know, the typical coveralls, and he did say if I ever wanted to, I could technically take off the jackets and everything and convert it into more of the each, you know, the Halloween 2 look, or the Dream Sequence Halloween, or the first one, the first Rob Zombie one, if I wanted to. But this is too cool. I'm not gonna touch this. This is great as is. And you know, even though it's not my favorite look for Myers in the movies, it still makes for an awesome look overall and an awesome look for a figure. So there's no way I would undo this. You know, when it comes to representing the remake version. I mean, I think this is kind of the holy grail look, you know, overall. So very happy with that. So there you go. So this is my latest that I've acquired within the recent year or so, or, you know, slightly older than that, from C Creations. David Tucker, look him up. He's got his own website. I think it's ccreations.com, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong about that, sorry, David. But you can find him as David Tucker on Facebook, and he's on Instagram, I believe, as well, and all that good stuff. Okay? All right, moving along. Hey guys, so look at these two here. So I actually wanted to do a segment with this Halloween video for really some killer Sideshow figures, and I never thought I'd say that. But Sideshow has really come a long way lately with some of their releases. Now, you saw in the beginning of the vid, I showed the Michael Myers, but under the sheet and glasses. For my taste, that was a little bit of a disappointed, although still a solid figure overall with the coveralls, the body. You know, obviously I didn't show it in the normal format. So to be fair, it is a solid figure that comes with nice accessories. It's just that I feel that they missed the mark a little bit on that one with the, you know, the head sculpt and such. But, and they do tend to use sculpted hair no matter what they do here, as you can see. But honestly, besides that, you know, I know that up until recently, Ash from Evil Dead 2 that they have done was considered like one of their flagship figures. Then they did a Jason and Freddy, and they were mediocre. They were okay. They had their highlights, but they still had, you know, a lot of critiques and criticisms. But this guy here, I have to say, maybe their best horror figure that they've released, you know, in this line. And although, you know, there's still criticisms, and I've still seen some make modifications, this figure really, really stands out, and I had to show it. It's not a custom, obviously. It's a commercially released figure from Sideshow. However, it's worthy. It's worthy to be showcased, honestly. I really think they did a great job. Now, minor critiques, you know, with this. So obviously, this is the Pretty Woman Leatherface from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. There's the logo there from the '74. And, you know, they were smart because 3-0 had done the normal looking version with the, you know, the yellow robe and all that. So they went this route, which I think was a smart move on their part because, you know, it still offers something unique and different. And, you know, at the same time doesn't collide with, you know, a direct competition, I guess, with 3-0 and the other you know, other companies. So, you know, who's to say they may eventually do one? And there's a Mezco one coming out that's more like a statuesque, but that for the apron Leatherface, the normal Leatherface, and that looks really good. I didn't get it yet. Supposedly, I think one version of it's coming out soon, and then there's a bloodier special edition coming out after that. And I'll obviously review those when they come. And I was hoping they'd come in time for Halloween, but I guess apparently not. However, so we'll save that for another vid. But this is the Sideshow one, and you know the suit, the way it fits, you know the fact that he's a little chubby in the belly. The white shirt with sort of a stripes and the pinkish tint, the tie, everything is really nice. If I had to do any kind of subtle criticism, I would say that maybe, and I've seen some people do it, the mask needs to have a slightly more whitish color to the makeup there, and then maybe a little bit more with the lipstick, you know, here. And I've seen some modify it a little bit, and it looks good. But to be honest with you, this is one of those figures that, you know, out of the box, you know, I'm fine with it. And I may, you know, customize it a little bit at some point if I feel the need. But I honestly, right now, I don't. I think it looks great, you know, as is. This jacket's a little crunched up there from the stand. But, yeah, I mean, it looks really, really nice. The shoes, the outfit, everything is just great. He stands really well. He stands really well on the stand or off the stand. And the chainsaw looks really nice and detailed. Again, they kind of missed the mark a little bit with the color. It is supposed to be a little bit more of a greenish tint, as we all know. And we've debated about in the past as much as maybe like Myers coveralls. But it really, 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 really is nice. There's a really good look here. I'll see if I can get into the light more so you can really see the detail there. It's excellent. It really is. Other than not having real, mohair or something, and maybe subtle details more in the mask, it really is a home run, I would say, especially for the type of figure that it is. So I would definitely recommend picking one of these up, if nothing more than an outstanding base for making a really great custom if you wanted to modify them further. And like I said, I have seen some do that, and it's worked out very well. So that's the Pretty Woman Leatherface from Sideshow. Just came out a few months ago. Now this one here that I have is a variant that I kind of put together. Now the head sculpt comes with this set. So you get him, the stand, and then you get this alternate head sculpt with the alternate apron and his kitchen knife, and so on and so forth. I had an extra bracelet, and I have the body from 3-0 because I have a custom Leatherface that you've seen last year, I think in my last year Halloween vid and some recent photos. I have the normal yellow aproned Leatherface, and so on another 3-0 body. So I had an extra 3-0 body, so I put this one and built him up on this one. And it came out really nice. And I dyed the pink shirt. I dyed the shirt to make it more like the pinkish tint to try to match that one. This one came out a little bit more pink than I wanted to, but it still does the part. I might weather it and dirty it up a little more at some point, but this looks great. And I got to be honest with you, in some ways, this one actually fills out better. I think there's the shoes and the pants and all. Most of this is like a hybrid of 3-0's clothing mixed with the apron and the head sculpt from the Sideshow release. And then he's holding a mallet here, but this is a real heavy metal mallet that was made by my good friend Chris Yeast. It's very high quality. The one that comes with this isn't bad, that comes with this set, but this one obviously is nicer, so I have him holding that one, and I have the extra bracelet and so on for his wrist. So this is a nice complimentary piece. Look at that with the gash on the head there. Apparently that's probably how he got this head. And again, not real hair, not mohair or what have you, but looks really good. And I've never seen, not too many people have made this look before, in 1/6 scale. So this is really a nice touch. And I got to be honest with you, overall, I do still think the 3-0 body is better. This one's fine, and this one does the job, but this one's slightly more meatier, and I like the forearms and the way the body fills out in general. He definitely has that bulky, chubby, stocky look to it. So I still think I prefer this one, this body over the Sideshow one. And, maybe someday if I get my hands on another 3-0 body from that Leatherface, maybe I'll do a body swap on this one and see how it looks. Even the coloration and stuff in the forearms and stuff, definitely look nicer on the 3-0 one, if you were to ask me. But again, not a big deal. He's mostly covered up in clothing anyway, and this clothing probably would be a little tight on this one, on this body. So, but for this look, the granny look, it works really nice. And you can get good lighting here, so you can see some nice details on that face. I mean, the head sculpt, everything. Like I said, this is really, really a nice set. And I think Sideshow really knocked it out of the park here, to be honest with you. So, since we're on the topic of Sideshow, I wanted to show one more thing here. This is another recently released Sideshow figure, and although it doesn't have anything to do with Leatherface, I wanted to show it real quick since we're on the Sideshow horror figure theme of the year. They've had some nice releases. This is a very simplistic figure. I did modify this a bit, and I'll explain. But out of the box, this is another figure that Sideshow has released this year that pretty much is ready to go. It's another series 12-inch figure from a horror series, Scream, and this is Ghostface. And again, really nice job that they did here with the apron, the knife, and everything. It's a little light on accessories. I would have liked if they would have included like a phone or something additional, for him to hold. But it does come with a stand. I don't have it out right now. Again, he stands very well with or without a display stand, so that's always a plus. And it's really nice. Now, the only thing I did, so out of the box, to me, the things that need to happen in order to make it more accurate is, number one, you need to take the belt off. The belt has to come off. It comes with a tie belt. It's not accurate for Scream. I don't know what Sideshow was thinking. That was more so for, So some people were confused. I was talking to some friends and I thought he had the belt, and then we thought maybe in certain sequels he did. But then somebody made the realization that that might be more of the scary movie Ghostface look, the spoof version of Ghostface that in those movies. So if you want to do that, maybe get the mask that has the funny tongue hanging out. You could do a scary movie version of him. However, for the movie version, for the normal Scream, no belt is required. And I also weathered the apron, and gave a little more grit to it, and I added some sparkles in there, as you can see in the camera, to kind of be a little more accurate, because the robe did have sparkles in it. And I had a custom Ghostface that was done a long time ago by False 5, and false. It was spelled with a 5 in it. I had it for a long time, and it was numbered. I forgot what number it was. It's in my old vids if you want to look it up. And I sold it. I sold it not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago or so, 3 years ago. And I miss it. It was a good figure, and the robe actually had sparkles in it. That's how I found out that was supposedly technically accurate, and because I never really gave it thought. And so I added some in there and had a little fun with this, since it looked a little plain with just the black. So now with a little weathering in there, the glitter, and so on, it's got a little more. I think the outfit's got a little more depth to it. So I just wanted to make a point to show these, because honestly, like I said, Sideshow's been hitting some home runs lately, and I really am happy with what they've been coming out with. More so than the Jason and the Freddy. I think that they've really found their groove, in making these. So I look forward to others that they may make soon. We'll see. Plenty more horror figures on pre-order too that just aren't here in time. So I will definitely showcase some more during the course of this year, leading up to saving some maybe for next year's Halloween vid. Yeah, that's right. I said next year, so of course I'll be back. All right, guys, back again to show this one now. And this is definitely something I've been putting a lot of TLC in as of late. And you guys have seen this figure before, but I've definitely, upped it a little bit more and worked on it a little bit more and added a little more to it throughout this year. So I have two Jason 6 versions here, and I'll get into the details of each one. And they're both very good for what they are. So starting with this one, this was a custom one that I had picked up pieces for and kind of slowly put it together, and then I've modified it more. I found another part 6 that somebody had for sale that I kind of picked up and then kind of worked some of the stuff into this one, including the base and such, which was all good stuff. But obviously this is the tombstone that comes with the I think the Kane set that originally came out years ago, and this was nicely painted. This was not painted by me. I don't know who painted this. I think I picked this one up this way recently. And then of course I have this that I made myself, holding one of the machetes that came with the one I got, after I glued it in there, so it looks like, just like after the scene where he rips the guy's arm off and he can hold it with the camouflaged army shirt on, during the paintball game that you see in the movie. And originally for this version, where there's the stand, which is a nice stand, custom made stand. It says Friday 13th. The glare of the light's kind of affecting it a little bit, so you can kind of see it, but kind of, there you go. I think from that view you could see it better. And the rest of this is like a kit bash that I basically put together. Customized the darts. The part I bought, it came with the belt, and somebody made the darts, but I kind of customized them to kind of tone it down, try to make it a little more accurate. The gloves, the shirt, and so on, I weathered, added some wet spots and weathering to it. And the head sculpt itself is basically a Kane version that's been nicely painted, and the mask, the Part 6 mask here, is in Justin Oz, A-U-Z, Williams, I think his name is. He makes great hockey masks, both life-size and for 1/6. So this is his mask that is sporting on this Jason. And then the pole and stuff is also from the Kane set that came out. Originally, for this version, I wasn't going to have him with the belt and all that because, being OCD, we all know that the Kane not the Kane version, but the part of the movie when he's holding the pole here from the fence, it was before he had the belt and everything. So originally I had him without the belt, like beltless for this version. But then I was like, you know what? Everybody else that makes it, like NECA and so on, they display him with the belt. He just looks so cool. And to me, the belt with the darts and everything just kind of scream Part 6. Right? It's like it kind of really makes you identify it with that movie, as opposed to just kind of a generic Jason just holding a pole with gloves, which we still know because of the gloves it's part 6. But I was like, you know what? He just looks so much more complete and cooler with the belt. So I went with it anyway and included the belt. And like I said, then I made this custom arm. This arm is originally from an old set that came with body part. And it was like a body and parts pieces set. And this is, again, from Kane. So I have that with him. And just kind of completes that look nicely. And I'm really proud of it, because between, what I started with and where I went with it, I think it came out to be really a really nice custom, or a kit bash as we would really consider it. Over here this way, this I wanted to showcase. This was made by John Carr. John, has been making some custom figures now. He made the part 2 Jason with the sack on the head that I had shown and showcased last year's, my last year Halloween vid. And now we're back again, and he brought this figure to life. Did a great job also with the homemade darts with the little chains, a little more detail and better there. The belt, obviously, the gloves, that definitely has some wear and tear on it. It has some corrosion and rips in it and stuff. The pants, the shoes, everything done by him. And the shirt that he weathered nicely with the holes in it from the fence, I believe, or from the, I have the same thing here with this shirt. Kind of matches up sort of closely. But this shirt is really nice and everything. And now this head sculpt was done and painted by One's Customs. This is One's Customs part 6, and very nice with the eye. I like the one eye that you really could see pronounced there, just like in the movie. Painted very nice. Look at that. Definitely nice. And it's funny, when you look at this head sculpt, you could definitely see the remnants or the beginnings of what became part 7, right? It does have a similar part 7 look. So the progression from part 6 to 7 was really nicely done. But then they kind of screwed it up and changed everything with 8. And although 8 I love, it definitely kind of backpedaled on where they were going with the progression of Jason's look up until that point. But this is a fantastic job by John. It stands very well, very solid figure. Like I said, the weathering, everything, he did great. I added some little touches myself, like a Chris Yeast knife. There, the hunter knife, and I believe he also, and I have it in a second, I'll get the other accessories for this just to show you the complete look, but John also included a Chris Yeast knife, or machete, with this set, which I'll show you in one sec. Hold on. All right, so I'm back. So there is the John Carr part 6, now sporting the machete made by Chris Yeast. Awesome weapons, man. I'll go to my grave saying he made the best weapons, and really nice, heavy. It's got a lot of, it feels real even when you touch it. It's really nice. So anyway, that's him sporting the set. Now this other things, like in addition to the Jason head sculpt, or the tombstone, sorry, that I have here, I have this other tombstone here that was made. Don't know exactly by who, but really cool. And this is a little different, little thinner. Has a little different look with a nice little grassy base. So this is kind of nice. And, I could display that with any Jason basically, because it's just a cool backdrop. And then the other Jason 6 I picked up to get parts to kind of add to this one came with this, which is really nice. Now, again, if you look at the comparison, this is basically the same tombstone that was done by Kane, but this one actually was painted differently. And this one has a lot of detail. It also comes out here, okay, really weathered nicely with the wet rain stains and what have you, grass and moss. Really nice. This one really was painted really well. They both look great, but have differences obviously in interpretation. I mean, I could take this one interchange it if I want to put that one there. It's the same base, so it would fit in. I mean, the same tombstone. So it's basically made for this type of base, or this type of tombstone, to fit in there. And this is a really nice little base too, little display. And again, I can't really give credit. I don't know who did the base per se. I do know it came with one of the customs or kit bashes I picked up. But really nice. The dirt and the weeds and the grass there looks really nice. So it definitely makes some cool backdrop to the overall thing. So this one I keep here with him for now. Any one of this one could be with him to add to this, and then this one could be whatever, could be with any Jason. We'll see. But really nice stuff. So I really have gone all out with 6. So basically, to let you guys know, I have a few favorite Jason looks. 6 is definitely one of them. I've had some people ask about or inquiring about selling a 6. If I ever decide to sell one of these, I'll post it for sale. But please don't keep asking me to sell it when I have no intention to sell it. You know, if I'm gonna sell it, I'll let you know. Because right now, these two together basically complete my thirst for the Part 6 look. You know, 6 is definitely my favorite. 7, which I've shown you guys several times in the past that I have from One's Customs, great. I love that look, and I love 8. So, which I'll be showing something regarding that shortly as well. So that's all good stuff. I love 6, 7, and 8, and I love Jason Goes to Hell, and I'm trying to get my hands on one of those at some point. I think one's coming up from One's Customs. I'm kind of in on, and hopefully when that run starts, I'll have that probably hopefully by next Halloween, if not before. I could show off that one too. So moving along. All right, guys, so this is nothing new or earth-shattering, but it's definitely worthy, and I'd be amiss not to show this. I picked this up within the last year, I believe shortly after. I think it was around the holidays after I had done last year's Halloween, and always wanted this one, had to pick this up, and have to honor this figure, even though it's old now and it's nothing new, and maybe boring for some to look at this point because you probably have seen it and know all about it at this point, but this is basically the DX Psycho set, Norman Bates from Psycho and the mom, that was done by Rain Man several years ago, a few years back. And this one in particular is 6 out of 50. There's Rain Man's signature. And, it's really, these things are really valuable, or become more rare and valuable as time goes on. Here's the DX. It says DX right there. Because, especially since now he's not, Lee or specifically the sculptor, right? He's doing other things now. I think he's doing like a Joker statue for Blitzway, and he's moved on to bigger and better things, and he's not really doing Rain Man, brand figures anymore. So definitely missed the fun of that. It was always fun to try to get a hands on some of his work basically, and some of the limited runs he does. Now he does still do stuff. He does figures, and if you go to other people's channels, you will see that there's still stuff that he does when he has time, and he does very limited stuff. But this one was towards the end of, I think, his time of, as far as like towards the tail end when he was still doing Rain Man, runs. And this, to me, like, this is just an honor. Like, this is where horror began, as far as like horror as we know it today, like as far as slasher horror. A lot of people give credit to Halloween, which definitely was first of its kind, as far as, a mass killer that gets shot or you think is dead, gets back up and is still alive. And that started that whole trend with, like, Jason, Freddy, and so on, right? But this, was definitely before its time, or ahead of its time, I should say. In the 60s with Alfred Hitchcock, with this statue that comes with the set, to honor him, which I think is a really nice touch to have this with it. This man was a genius, and you have to honor this movie when you think horror, and when you think of how horror progressed from, just being like a ghost type of thing, or like, harmless 50s and 40s or so on, Universal Monsters, which was a whole other era, which was great. But this changed horror. This started the whole like literally psycho serial killer type, creep factor of somebody disguising himself or killing victims, and it definitely is a classic. And it had its own sequels later that and the actor who portrayed him, Anthony Perkins' character, and that's who this sculpt is done to look like here. That is Anthony Perkins, the actor playing Norman Bates. And this particular set comes with alternate outfits, so you can either have him looking like Norman Bates with a shirt and pants, or you can have him dressed up as the mom when he was pretending to be his mom, when in reality the mom was just a corpse skeleton, very creepy here, sitting in a chair, that he would play both parts basically. So again, it was really the first of its kind as far as that type of horror. And then it led into other things like, you could go back as far as 74, right? Then you say, well, Leatherface started it. Well, true, but that was more of a cannibalistic type of story, so it took it up a notch, another step. And then you had Halloween that started the whole gimmicky, hey, he never dies kind of thing, and he comes back to life, and Jason, and then Freddy, and Chucky, and Pinhead, and Leprechaun, and Candyman, and Wishmaster, and it all just flowed from there. But if you really want to trace back to its roots, this is it. So I would be amiss not to show this figure in my collection, even though it's old news to many. The idea that he not only made this set the way he did, but the fact that he did it in like a grayish purple, almost like a slight purplish color, but like to mimic that black and white era is phenomenal. You don't see that a lot. So that's very rare and very unique that he did that and made this in black and white. I think that's incredible. And the skin tone, the paint, the way the clothes match that theme is phenomenal. It's awesome. And that's really mostly why I chased after this set. And when I had the opportunity to pick it up, and I got it for a very fair price at the time, considering, I was very lucky to grab this. And this is something with the type of horror that I love and that I've shown through the years, whether it's Leatherface, Michael Myers, especially Michael Myers, everybody knows I love Myers. I could not have this in my collection, given the fact that this really represents the beginning of that type of horror, and maybe people disagree, or they may point out other films that had a part in that, and I'm sure that's true. It's a progression. But when if you trace back to leaving that type of old school horror from the 50s and so on, that either were ghost stories or Universal monster type stuff, and moving into this whole like this could be a real person in the real world doing crazy things, this is the movie that started it, and you gotta respect that. So again, whether you like Rain Man, whether you don't like Rain Man's work, I just respect the set that this represents, the movie that this represents more so than everything. But he did a phenomenal job. And if you really look at the detail, if I can get in here, if you look at the detail of this sculpt just alone, I mean, that is incredible. The detail there. The detail here is phenomenal. Look at that sculpt. All right. I mean, the mom alone is worth the price, the price tag on this one. And the craftsmanship of the sweater, the dress, the detail on the hands. I mean, that you can't scream Halloween vid more than this guy, man, or this woman, I should say, or corpse. But this is just, phenomenal. I mean, look at that. And then, like I said, the shoes there. And I didn't, like I said, I don't have the box with me handy to get the other outfit out. But like I said, it comes with another outfit so you can completely change his look into his normal look. But look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, come on. The paintwork is just phenomenal. You have to respect this. You know what I mean? You have to. So kudos to Lee, aka Rain Man of back when. Definitely a classic right here. And if anybody ever has a chance to get their hands on any type of version of this, whether it's the DX or whether it's a full set or so on, if you have the chance and if you love horror, do yourself a favor, try to pick this one up. All right, guys. So I just wanted to do a quick unboxing vid, kind of whet the appetite of what's to come. So this package came in. I kind of did sort of semi-open it just so it's easier for me to kind of unbox it, but also film it at the same time. Obviously, I had to get scissors and cut the box open, and very nicely packed. This came from, shout out to Paul Manzi of Distress Labs, who is participating in the Jason Takes Manhattan run, the new run that's happening right now with, in conjunction with One's Customs. So I basically got the environment and the diorama that Distress Labs is making with the set first. So to quickly just unbox to show you guys what's up, this comes with basically like the certificate, the COA that includes One's Customs, Distress Labs, and so on. I'll take a look at more detail, and I'll show this all set up. I'm just showing you a quick unboxing just to kind of get things rolling here. Comes with some accessories that goes with the base or the environment. Like a pallet, a garbage bag, very creative, a box, cardboard box, and so on. Then he had the base itself wrapped up in this caution tape, like police caution tape, which is great. Scene do not cross. Very nice touch. And here's some more accessories here. More stuff and more boxes that I'll set up with the base when it's ready. So taking all the bubble wrap out. Here's the base itself. Very cool, like this melted, sort of like Camel cigarette with that cigarette there. Very nice touch. Look at the texture. It looks great on the base. Very wet, moist, like it kind of looks all you know, just like it did, like with the, you know, well, according to that movie, you know, where New York City's sewers and streets are infested with like toxic waste, which I'm from New York, I could tell you it really is not true. But for the sake of the movie, it was a cool thing. And there's the lid cover, New York City sewer, right there with all the. I mean, the camera can only pick up so much of the detail, but if you see the detail of what he put on this base, it's amazing. Like all the dirt and soot and all these little details, like these things that are just like I can't even, like there's like little leaves and so on and so forth, like garbage and stuff, like remnants of garbage. It's amazing. The more you look at it, the more you notice things. So very nicely done by Distress Labs, aka Paul Manzi specifically. And then of course the last part here is the base. I'm sorry, the backdrop for the base, which is the fence, the danger keep out sign there. Nice touch with the hole in the fence. So this fence basically can be set up behind it, which I'll do. It goes in here, so it'll straighten the fence out, which I'll get set up. Then you see the hole here that's going to be for the base, I guess the crotch holder or the you know the hold the figure basically in place. Once that comes with the figure, so. Here you go, guys. Step one of two of completing this beautiful figure that's on its way. I should be receiving it any day now or any minute now. So as soon as I get the actual figure, I'll do an unboxing of that, and then I'll show you everything set up and nice to kind of show it in all its glory. All right, guys, be back soon. All right, guys, this is literally hot off the press, man. So you saw the unboxing that I got of the diorama, which in real time, I actually had filmed the day before that this showed up, and luckily in time, so I could sneak this in at the end of this vid, I have my main event. So this came right from One's Customs, all right, and this followed behind this box here that has the Distress Labs diorama in it that you saw right before this, and I'm now gonna unbox this and show you guys. I don't usually do unboxing videos, but this is exciting. It's brand new. I know a lot of people waiting for this that are also on the run. So I hope this inspires them and motivates them and gets them excited, because you could see that, you know, he's coming through and, you know, they're on their way. You know, Distress Labs, One's Customs, or, you know, they're doing their thing. So right off the bat, I noticed this right away. And, you know, it's going to be a little hard to be detailed, but I'm going to show you quickly and then I'll show you with everything set up. But this is a stand for the guitar. Pink guitar that comes with the Jason Takes Manhattan. So in case you guys were asleep and not paying attention with my unboxing that I just showed before this, that was the display, the diorama set, you know, scene to display this figure, which is One's Customs current Jason Takes Manhattan, you know, Part 8, Friday the 13th Part 8 figures. Always one of my favorites, and that's why I had hinted it towards this earlier in the vid when I was showing my Jason 6s that I might have something, you know, along the lines to show. But I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure this was going to make it. So there's the guitar. And like I said, I'll show it all unwrapped, but you guys can kind of see it through the bubble wrap with the blood stains on it. Looks really cool. All right. And then we have here, he gave a bust that is going to be used to display like an alternate head sculpt, right? Which is really nice. Or you could display the mask on it, or, you know, whatever you got to do. Really nice. And I'll have this all set up when ready. So here, this is a bonus gift he threw in, which, by the way, you know, when you do a lot of business with one, or if you're, you know, if you do right by him, he does right by his customers, man. You know, he threw this in. I wasn't expecting this. And look at this. Look at the holes. This looks like Freddy meets Jason Part 7 right here, New Blood. You could see the teeth through the holes. This is a concept Freddy that I was told he's working on. So he's going to be making full figures of these, I think. But he gave me this as a little treat, little bonus gift, which I appreciate. You know, I've been a customer of his for many, many years. So thank you, One. I really appreciate that. A shout out to him for that. Really appreciate it. Look at this. This is really, really cool. So I'll do something nice with this, and you know, I'll try to do right by his work and try to, you know, make it a full figure that is respectable, you know, with his head being the tree topper. And this is the hat that comes with it. See if I can open this with one hand. People are like, come on, let's get to Jason 8 already, which I promise I'll get there. You wanted an unboxing video, here we go. So here it is. Look at that. There's like holes in the hat. So this is kind of like a take on, from what I understand, it's a take on this being a cross between like, you know, a normal Freddy and then like a concept Freddy and then Freddy from like the Demon Freddy from Freddy versus Jason, right? Let me pause it one sec. So check that out. Man, that's badass. Look at that. That is sweet. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Trust me on that. Maybe by next Halloween, I'll debut the full figure that I do with that. And I'm sure whatever he has in store with that head sculpt, I'm sure his is going to be way better anyway. So look forward to that. So this here, if you know, everybody knows who this is, right? And this is a great accessory to go along with the Jason 8 when he knocked his head off in the boxing scene on the roof. Classic. Look at that. That's, wow, look, I mean, that looks just like it. That's amazing. Holy crap. That is awesome. That's great. I made a custom one of these a long time ago. It wasn't a sculpt of him exactly, but it was close enough to pass, and it was pretty cool. But this is a dead ringer. This looks exactly like him. That's amazing. That was the funniest scene when he punched his head right out. I'm laughing just thinking about it. All right, so here I kind of started to unwrap this, and then I waited. But here's the mask. Look at that mask. Look at that, Jason Takes Manhattan mask. That's got to be the best mask I've ever seen so far for this. As far as the paintwork, the whole deal, the strappings. Look at that. Look at the detail on that. That is really cool. So there's the mask, and he blacked out the eyes just like the real deal, right? So what you saw was black. Really cool. And then here is the head sculpt. Look at that with some of the toxic fluids and all the gook all over him. Really nice, really nice. This Jason was definitely Toxic Avenger meets Jason, right? They should have did a crossover and just threw him in there. Toxic Avenger versus Jason, that would have been cool. All right, so getting to the meat of this now. So we got some of the accessories out of the way, and here's another accessory. The bloody axe, the fire axe that he uses when he's on the boat, on the cruise, right? That movie should have been called Jason Takes a Cruise, right? Because the majority of the movie's on the cruise ship instead of actually in New York, which is kind of funny. And here we go. Here we go. Look. Oh, man. Why do I already feel it's awesome and I haven't even unwrapped it yet? I'm amazed that I could do this so well with one hand, to be honest with you. This is why I normally don't like to do unboxing videos. But as you can see, the head sculpt I first showed you was his alternate head sculpt. This is obviously the other one. Little less gooky, right? Little goopy, I should say, and a little less toxic waste green on him. This is like more of a cleaner one, although still gruesome. That is amazing. Wow. Wow. That's just... And you guys will know when you get it, the weight on this thing already, he's heavy. He is heavy. So for the sake of not, hurting the figure trying to unwrap this with one hand, I think I'm going to stop it here. And then the next thing I'm going to jump to is just make sure there's nothing else in here. I believe that's everything. I'm just double checking so I don't miss showing anything in case there is. But no, that's it. And that's fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video, and then I'm going to come back and have the whole thing set up, what I have so far. I know there's 2 pieces still coming that I'll show separately in another vid at another time. He has a couple other accessories I think that's going to still come for this diorama and the figure. It's like a background and like the barrel and stuff like that. So he's not quite ready with that, but he wanted to get the figure here in time, and he wanted to start rolling these out. So when I get those other 2 pieces, I'll definitely show that as well. But for now, let me get everything together and show what I have so far. All right, guys. Wow. Unbelievable, man. I got everything set up as much as possible for now, just for the sake of getting this vid done. And like I said, I know there's a couple of things extra coming, but take a look at all this. I'm not even going to show you the figure yet, okay? We're gonna build up to that. Right now you see his feet. And I know there's others that have gotten this already a little early so that, you have an idea of what you're in for, but wow. All right, so first off, there's the Julius head. I mean, look at that. I mean, looks... The detail on that is incredible. On this base in this diorama makes even better. So again, kudos and shout out to Distress Labs, aka Paul Manzi. Look at this. He gave these little details in the bags that I didn't really get into detail with the unboxing, but now you can see it in all its glory. An empty Heineken bottle, a box of Trojans. There's the bust with the extra head sculpt that you've seen already. Look at that. Here is the certificate of authenticity that covers everybody that was involved. Gives a little scorecard here. It shows, you know, it shows who had the whatchamacallit, the prototypes, and then these are the people that were on the run. And there I am right there. Pretty cool. So it's like a player. It looks like it's a league player's card. Like it's kind of cool the way they did that. It's kind of clever, right? It has stats and all that good stuff. And then of course the Distress Labs card, Paul Manzi and all his info, right? So his Instagram right there, Facebook, website, and so on. So he bring your collectibles to life. So, you know, he played a part in this, obviously, with the diorama and all that, and helping, you know, one organize it. Look at the guitar. Unreal. With the blood splatter and everything like that. Look at the which, and I've seen these in I don't know if he made this himself, but I've seen these. They sell these in craft stores and stuff too, that you can get like you can actually like turn them into like what you call it, like coasters, like the cup holders and stuff, like to put cups and drinks on a table, right? It's kind of funny, but this has been weathered and painted to look exactly like what a pallet would look like, you know, laying in the street. You know, amazing. And then again, like I showed you originally, there's the other like details, like there's the Eastern Hockey League paper, right? But like dirty and crumpled on the sidewalk. The syringe, he gave a syringe, extra boxes and such for the background. Up there, he gave a tarp, like a bag that's hanging off the fence, off the pole. I mean, you could be creative. You could put that on other places. That's where I saw it. I saw somebody else do something similar, and I chose to do that based on the instructions. Danger, keep out. The fence is incredible, and there he is, man. There is the star. Look at that. And there's the axe. And I have him holding right now, just sporting real quick. But look at that. Would you look at that? That is... Look at the detail on that. I mean, no matter how close I get, it only gets better, not worse. You know, like sometimes you take a photo of something really close and you see kind of like some faults in the picture, right? Not this. This is, look at the bandage underneath the shirt that he's got, like underneath the rip shirt. You can see there. Oh my God, that's amazing. Would you look at this? Like seriously, look at the little snap button right there. The details, I mean, to get that close with the camera and to see this kind of stuff. Look at that. Look at the clothing. It is amazing the amount of detail that went into the clothing. It looks like all, you know, wet and dirty and slimy and all the other good stuff in between. Here's his open stomach, abdominal area here that you see in the movie. Look at the buttons, and I mean, geez, like I'm not joking. Like this is, I mean, you could see for yourself. I mean, I'm amazed just as I'm showing the video, because this is really my first real look at it in all its glory. Look at the shoes. And the amazing thing is, I have to say, like the way Paul and, you know, Distress Labs matched up, you know, the filth and the dirt on the base that matches sort of what's going on with the shoe and the boot. It's like a perfect marriage. You know, it's amazing. And again, you saw the detail that's on the sidewalk and stuff. I mean, wow. Just wow. Just wow. I mean, honestly, no joke here. I mean, this is incredible. So here he is. Look at that. I mean, that's just insane. That's insane. For all you guys waiting for one of these, it is worth every second you wait, and I don't blame you for not wanting to wait any longer. Let's just leave it there. That is incredible. And I said earlier in the unpacking video about the stand, but Distress Labs, aka Paul, did include the stand, the post in the back, so he can rest on that, crotch grabber kind of thing. I just didn't notice it was in the bag with the other stuff. I'm gonna very carefully lift them off this for a second, so you can kind of, there's the garbage bag back there, and also a nice touch, but you could see it, you know, kind of, because this is like amazing just in its own right, but then to see this, I wanted you to see the back of him. Now, this is paying attention to detail. If you notice the back here, right, with the hole there, but look how he even tucked the shirt in. That is true, because his shirt in that movie was like kind of half tucked in, half tucked out. So one got that detail down. That's all right. The axe fell out of his hand, but that's okay because I wanted to lift him up anyway. I kind of want to freehand this a little bit so you guys can see a really good... I can't say enough about this. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Is just insane. Well, thank you to both of you guys for making my video have a really outstanding ending. Let me just say that. This is top caliber right here. This is amazing. Amazing. So that's crazy. I'm speechless. Like, it's amazing. I mean, you know, we always can find faults and critiques in everything, you know, but, you know, I defy you to find anything faulty. And even if there's some things that you could say are not 100% accurate with this, if you were to find anything, the artwork and the amount of details and time that has gone into this, you have to appreciate this regardless. Look at the way he has those straps coming into the mask, the holes, the weathering. This is, I mean, the buttons is really what's flawing me here on the shirt. Like the little details here. Look at that. That's amazing. I could film this all night because I'm just in awe. I'm not even really like talking that much because, you know, I'm letting the figure do the talking here. Unbelievable. So anyway, guys, that definitely concludes my 2021 Halloween video, and boy, did that conclude it in the right note. This is definitely the horror figure of the year right now, as it stands at this moment. Incredible. Even right down to the bottom of the feet. Honestly, guys, if you're on this run, and if you're one of the names on that card, like me, you are in for a real treat when this thing shows up. And it should be showing up anytime. You might be getting it by the time you see this video. And congrats to all who have gotten it, just like me. All right, guys. I am going to show this again. I'll do a part 2 in a different vid, where maybe when the shock wears off of what I'm looking at, I'll be able to kind of be a little more talkative and descriptive of what we have here. But you guys can see here clearly, this is definitely a game changer as far as the details and the work here. This is amazing. Amazing. So there you go, guys. 1/6 diorama and the 1/6 Jason Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Definitely the two together make it even more special, but each on their own is fantastic on its own right. This is great. Even if you put somebody else in it, you could put RoboCop on this and it would still kind of work. You know, obviously without the Julius head. But I mean, this on its own is fantastic too. So you can't go wrong either way, guys. And I will be back to show this again when I get the, I think the last couple pieces to this, and then I'll have more surprises to come. I got a lot of good stuff I think coming my way this year that I'll be able to show you guys. All right, guys, till next year, but not that long, to my next review vid, I should say, my normal review vids. This is Joebizz34. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.